Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Hello there. Hello.
Hello?
Mm-hmm. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna assume this is we're gonna run this out quick. Efficiency appliances. The AC appliances, more common, less expensive, easier to get, service repair. Applications, the Great Direct System, most largest stand-alone system. Compare AC appliances efficiency online at blah 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 blah. You can do that. The DC appliances selection is limited. Now, good. The last time we had our class, last week class, we spoke about load analysis.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
And you guys went home and did some homeworks with your load analysis. People, don't put that chart right in front of the camera. Don't do that. So we have the Great Direct System in America. If you do that, the parent of the child can sue you. That's a big lawsuit. You could go to jail for that. You didn't get permission from the parent to put a child on the camera. So these are things you got to learn the rules, son. So the Great Direct System most likely now, if one of the biggest appliances that are used in homes is a refrigerator, not so?
Yeah.
Refrigerator and Xbox and air conditioner are very large appliances that are used in most domestic environments. They use the refrigerator, very important. So now let's consider appliances. In an off-grid home, the refrigerator is often the largest use of electricity. The customer may have an additional freezer or supplies. This is another large load. Many old refrigerators use a tremendous amount of power. Buying a new energy-efficient refrigerator can reduce the overall upfront cost of the battery-based PV system. What does this mean? You went to design a system, the person has this refrigerator that has Saint Charlie Quintan. My mom would say Charlie Quintan, Saint Charlie Quintan, if they had this refrigerator. Oh, my refrigerator is good. But that one refrigerator, the amount of energy that refrigerator consumes could be equivalent to more than maybe 5 different refrigerators. So in that instance, it's advisable to tell the customers, Madam, instead of you paying thousands of dollars to build a big PV system, why don't you just change the refrigerator to a more energy efficient refrigerator? If the person is considering, they will say, you know what, it's a good suggestion. So that's what they are saying here. AC appliances are very common, and there is a tremendous appliance. And there is, let me go back. All refrigerator use power. Buying a new refrigerator can reduce the overall upfront cost of the battery-based system. Since lower energy consumption will result in fewer PV model and battery requirements. It is also important to decide if an AC or DC appliance is right for the application. DC appliances are very common, and AC appliances are very common, and there is a tremendous selection of mix, models, and size on the market. A huge benefit of using a DC appliance is that they are much cheaper than DC appliance. Using an AC appliance is much cheaper than DC appliance. I will change you guys. I want my other guy to come in front now. You can go back.
Okay.
All right. Excellent. What's your name? Abraham. So you my new TA. All right. So What they are saying here is that AC appliances are more available all around the world and they are more cheaper than DC appliances, even though if you are developing a PV system, if you have DC appliances, it will save you a lot. Say, for example, you are designing a PV system and you're only using DC appliances, you don't need an inverter. You will not need an inverter if you just have a DC appliances. For example, if you was to purchase a DC water pump for somebody who has a farm or just want to pump the water into the tank, you can put up build a little system with a DC motor that once the sun is shining, it will pump the water. It will pump the water up in the reservoir. Such systems do not need an inverter. It's strictly DC. So that's what they are saying here. They are saying that AC appliances are available, but in terms of the current difference, DC appliances are more preferable in some instances, not in all. In some instances, but the big problem with DC appliances is that they are not very much available. Like you can't just walk in the store and say I want to buy a DC refrigerator. It's not. They're not just there like that. Even if they are there, they are very selective. And most often they are very expensive and they are hard to repair. The reason why more technicians are not familiar with the technology of DC appliances. So that's what they are saying. But gradually things are improving. So let's say, for example, you are designing a PV system for a school in Zwedru. And all they needed is light bulbs not light bulbs. All they need is they need light bulbs for the night classes. They want to have night school, and they only need light bulbs for the night classes. You can design a system, a battery-based system, a DC-based system with just the battery. The battery will be charged, and you'll be supplying them DC light bulbs, who will be very cost-effective, very cheap, and will use less power as compared to an AC system. You got it?
Yeah.
So that's what they are saying here. The huge benefit of using an AC appliances is that they are much cheaper than DC model and they are easily serviced and repaired. It is important to check the energy consumption for the exact model being considered, as use can vary dramatically between models with slightly different features. In the United States, Energy Star ratings for the annual estimated kilowatt-hour consumption of refrigerator and other appliances are available at. So you can go on this website. It's called www.energystar.com. It will tell you the energy consumption of more appliances. So if somebody sends you appliances from America, now I just want to tell Mr. Katuma and the class that we have a big project at hands, and most of that project I want all of you guys to be on the site. You will learn a lot. We are building a system. It's a 10 kilowatt system. We are using 390 watts solar panel, 48-volt PV models. They're going to have two inverter chargers. We're having 20 battery. 10, 15, 12 battery. So it's a big system, and most of you guys will learn a lot because the gentleman in the Morovia have been doing a lot of jobs, so you will learn a lot from him. That's why I pair you guys with him, because he's a big dog on the ground in Morovia. He's a big guy in Morovia, so definitely you will learn a lot from him. One thing I always say is to people, be open to new ideas. Don't be bossy. Learn from people. Even if you seem to know more than them, just learn what they know. And if they ask for your input, you give your input. That's what it is. If you have that mindset, trust me, you will pass the sky in terms of acquiring knowledge that you want. You will, if you have that mindset. So, let's see. Now, DC appliances are often used in off-grid or standalone PV systems. There are some super efficient DC refrigerator. There are some super efficient DC refrigerator available, which operate directly from the battery or even directly from the PV array. Not only does this eliminate the efficiency losses of the inverter, it also means Food won't spoil if the inverter fails or goes offline. An advantage of using DC lights in a system with an inverter is if the customer discharges the battery deeply, the light will continue to run for some time after the inverter shut off. So you see some of the advantage of DC light bulbs or DC appliances. So what they are saying here is, say for example, there is a clinic, a small clinic in Tapetam, and they hire us to set up a PV system for that small clinic. Most often, clinic runs in the day, not so. Clinic most often run in the day. So if you have a DC refrigerator there for them to store their drugs and stuff, it would be a good choice. Because what happens is they're not going to run into the inverter failure. So the inverter will not, there's no inverter, so the inverter not going to fail. And secondly, all through the day, they're going to have that DC electricity that don't need to be converted into AC. It's going to be charging, giving power to that refrigerator or other DC appliances in our place. So for a system like that, you can recommend DC equipment or DC appliances because of the time of usage. But for a home, you gotta be very careful because if you recommend a DC refrigerator for a house that they're going to use all day, it's going to be difficult because what happens is DC refrigerator may be expensive and it may even break down and then they can repair it because nobody know how to work on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what they're saying here. All right, let's dive right into what we did last week. Last week we were talking about load analysis. Remember? You guys went home and you did your assignments. Now calculating load analysis. Now today we're going to be going further from just the load analysis. We'll be adding on the VA load. You guys know the VA or the power factor load, the VA load. We're going to be adding that also to determine our inverter and our generator. Okay? So that's what we're going to be doing. So yesterday, the last time we had a class, we said, for example, we have an incandescent light bulb. It's a 60 watts light bulbs. That's the operating watt. That's 60 watt light bulbs. And they have how many bulbs? They have 8 bulbs, not so? So 8 bulbs times 60 watts is about 480 watts. That's the operating watts for 8 light bulbs. The hour of usage, they use the light bulb for 6 hours a day. And the days a week is 7 days a week. We divide up 7 days in a week. We have 2,880 average daily energy watts. All right, I'm gonna switch you with my other guys so you can read for me. All right, I'm gonna switch you. I'm gonna rotate. Mr. Man, who reading? Right. I want you to come back. No, the other guy, yeah, come back at your time. Good. All right, you my new TA. I want you to read what you see on the screen.
Calculating load estimates.
Okay.
You say loads. Incandescent bulbs. Low watt is 60 and the quantity is 8.
Mm-hmm.
Operating watt is 480.
Mm-hmm.
And the hour per day is 6 days. And then the days per week is 7.
Mm-hmm.
And divided by the 7 days per week will give us 2,880, which will be the energy watt per hour per day.
Okay.
And then we have the vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
The vacuum, the load in watt is 500 and is one vacuum. We multiply it will give us the operating watt, which is 500. And then the hour per day is 0.5. And
okay.
The day per week is 2 days, and the week is 7. And then when we add it, it will give us 72.
Oh, 72. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And we have the television.
Mm-hmm.
The load is 300.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one television.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we multiply it, it will give us the same 300.
Mm-hmm.
The hours reducible is 3 days. And then if we multiply it, it will give us 6 43.
All right.
And then we have the heater.
Mm-hmm.
The heater, the low watt is 1,500.
Yeah.
We have one heater.
Mm-hmm.
Multiply it with equal to 500.
Mm-hmm.
Use it for 4 days. And we use it 3 times in a week.
Okay.
And then if we divide it by the 7 days a week, will give us 2,571.
All right.
And then we also have computer.
All right.
Computer watt is 75.
Mm-hmm.
Then I come in. And then we have one computer. If we multiply it, we give up the 675. And we use it 2 days per hours. And then the day per week is 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Then we divide it by the 7 days per week, so we give out 108.
Okay.
And we have the phone charger. The low watt is 4.
Mm-hmm.
We have one charger. And then the operating watt is the same 4.
Mm-hmm.
We use it 7 days. We use it for 7 hours, and we use it for 7 days in a week. And then if we divide it by the week, it will give us 8.
Okay.
And we have the phantom load.
Uh-huh.
Extra loads. We have the phantom loads. And the load there is 63.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one. If we multiply, it will give us the 663. We use this for 24 hours and 7 days in a week. And then if we divide by the total week, the total days in a week, the 7 will give us 1,504.
Okay.
And we have the microwave.
Mm-hmm.
The watt load there is 1,300. And we have only one microwave, we give us the same 1,300. And we use it for 0.1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
And we use it for 1 week, which is 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
If we divide by the entire week, the 7 will give us 130.
Okay.
And then we have the refrigerator.
All right.
We have the low watt is 280.
Mm-hmm.
We have only one refrigerator. And the operating watt will be the same 280. And we don't have the hours per day, the days per week, and then the days per week.
Excellent. So that's where I want to come. I want to correct. So there is this right here. There is this right here. Hold on. You can use to determine this device an energy monitor measurement power over time to calculate the. So you see right here, you see the little small thing right here looking like a white device.
Yeah.
So what it does is that what the name is a calculator. So it's like an energy monitor. You can plug it in the wall, and then you plug your refrigerator to it. In 24 hours, it will tell you how much watts that refrigerator use, or any device you're trying to know. It will tell you. So I'm going to buy some of these and send it home for us to actually be able to determine the load. Is very, very important. So there are some load that is difficult to calculate, like refrigerator. It's hard to calculate because refrigerator has something called phantom load, which means the refrigerator runs at 280 watts, but it doesn't run at 280 watts all through the day. No, it don't. It has a phantom load. We discussed that further. So there are some appliances that they have a static operating load, but once it's closed, it's not running that at that same watts all through the day. So that's very important to know. But you have to know the operating watts. If you see right here, average daily energy use will be used for the array and the battery sizing. When I say array, who know what array means? When you put a group of panels together, it's called an array. So what they are saying right here, somebody write this down. So your average daily energy watts hour is 10,651 watts hour. You write it down?
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to show you guys software. In America, we use software for a lot of things. I'm just write that information down. I'm going to get a software that will show you a web software that will just, once you have that information, that will show you, that will tell you how many solar panel you need. One of the right here is right on this website. All right, can everybody see this website?
Yes.
What did it say?
It's a kilowatt.
Okay. So this website here, if I come to resource, you see me, I click on resource.
Yes.
I come to calculator. And I look for what it says, off-grid solar electric system calculator. You seen it? I click on that. If I want to say your information, use if you optionally choose to save your calculator for later. So you can write your name here, you can put your date, you can do that. Now, battery bank size, this calculator will help you size the battery bank for your system. What do you need? The first information you need is called what? Watts hour per day. You remember?
Yes.
What is our watts hour per day?
10,651.
10,000 what?
10,651.
10,651.
Yes.
That is our watts hour daily.
Yes.
All right. Now, step number 2. How many days should your system run without sun? So I'll say 1 day. Maybe in 1 day I will not have sun. That's what they're saying. Step number 3. Adjust the effective capacity of your battery bank due to low temperature. So what is the lowest temperature your battery bank will experience? Who can tell me what is the lowest temperature in Liberia? How cold it get? Maybe 60 degree or 50 degree max. When it's cold, you don't get lower than that in Liberia. Maybe in December you get Yanni Pepe, where you get a little bit windy.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
So we say our lowest temperature will be with this 60 degree, okay? All right? You got it?
Yes.
So once I do my lowest temperature, it tells me the result right here. Your battery bank capacity is 27,193 watts hour. Write that down.
27,000.
193. All right. So if I am using a 12-volt battery, I'm going to divide 27,193 by 12 volt. It will tell me how many amp hour. 27,193 divided by 12 volt.
$2,266.1.
2,266.
Yeah.
Okay. So over here, they tell you right here, they tell you it worked the math for you. Your battery bank capacity amp hour is 2,267. You seen it?
Yeah.
That's your amp hours. So that how much amp hour of battery you need. You got it?
Yeah.
Now let's see how many PV system I need.
Okay, I want to go back small.
Someone have a question?
Okay, okay, this is 2,666.1. Then how many pieces of battery or a good piece of battery there?
You would divide the amp hour. You divide the amp hour by how many amp battery you want. Maybe you got a 200 amp battery, so divide that by 200 amps. 2267 divided by 200 amps.
Okay. Well, 11 battery.
11 battery. You got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say we're using 24. We're gonna change the volt. Let's change the volt to 24-volt battery.
Okay.
We change the volt to 24-volt battery. So what is your battery bank capacity now?
It's 1,134 amp an hour.
Now divide that by 200 amp the battery.
You want that one?
1,134. Five.
You need 5 battery. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play with you guys a little bit. Let's go to the temperature. Let's reduce the temperature to 50 degrees. What do you notice? The battery bank capacity amps hour increases, not so?
Yeah, increase it.
All right, let's go down. Let's say our temperature is 40 degrees. What happens?
Also increase it.
Gonna go down to 30 degrees.
30 degrees, also increase it.
And let's go to 70.
70 decreases. When we go to 70, it decrease.
It decreases. So in
Yeah.
Liberia, so you notice now, they're just telling you now you got warm temperature in Liberia. So we say the lowest temperature we get is 70 degrees. So 70 degrees, our battery bank decreases. So if we have a 24-volt battery, we need what? 1,624 amp hour. Divide that by 200 amps.
We'll give her 5.
How many batteries?
5.
You got 5 batteries. Excellent. So you figure, are you guys understanding this?
Yes.
So there are software and there are applications that makes this whole energy very easy. But I can't teach you the software. But I can't just do that. Because what happens is you will be like that nurse that only know how to use calculator, so the day her calculator lost, she'll kill somebody. Okay? Now, let's see how much solar panel we need. Let's see how many model we need, okay? So now, solar panel and solar charge controller sizing. Determine the solar exposure for your site. Now, let's select the state. Now, in Liberia, we're just going to use the manual, enter the average sun hour for your location. The average sun hour. So the average sun hour. Do you know what an average sun hour is?
Hour is sun shine.
So the average sun hour is that in a given day, how many hours your sun shines for a complete 1 hour without going down. So say, for example, I talked to Mr. Kotuma about this one time. I wanted to know the average sun hour of his house, which means from 7 o'clock in the morning, the sun come up, you're gonna observe the time your sun, how many, maybe by 12 o'clock, the sun shines from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock strictly, no going down. Then 2 o'clock, the sun shines. So by record, for places like Africa, the average sun hour for Africa, let's go to Google. You have Google? It will tell you. You just go, that information is available. So you say, what is the average sun hour for West Africa or Liberia? So the average sun hour for Liberia is 4.33. You got it? Yeah, so it's 4.33 according to record here. But usually, by default, we just use 4. So we just say 4. So we say manually. You see what they say? Manual, enter the average sun hour manually. I would just say 4. So in a given day, 4 hours in a given day, the sun will shine straightly without going down. So once you enter your average sun hour, the size in your solar panel, they tell you exactly how much your total watts of solar panel that you need. It's how many watts? 34,300. I mean, 3,461.6. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, and then in kilowatts, how much would be in kilowatts?
In kilowatt is 3.46.
So 3.46 would be in kilowatts. All right. Now let's see, for example, you are using 200 watts solar panel each. Now let's go down. Tell you down here. You tell me how many solar panel you need in your array. So let's say we're using 200 watts solar panel. We're using 200 watts solar panel. You will need how many?
15.
You will need 18 solar panel.
You will need 18 solar panel for a total of 3,600 watts. If I change this to 325 watts, let me look for 325. Or let me use for 300 watts. I change it to 300 watts. How many solar panel I need? All right, I'm going to change it to 325. How many panel I need?
11.
Was that educative? Was that helpful for you guys?
Yes.
So write down the website. It's called
ALTstore.com.
Yeah, write that down. That's a source you can use to size your PV system. Now, the first thing you must understand here, you need to know your average daily. You must know. This is where you have to find out on your own. You have to know your watts hour per day. That is why you have to you have to check through your needs analysis. Your load analysis. You have to do your load analysis to know this right here. Once you got that information to your disposition, you now know how to size your system. There are a lot of resources out there to help you size the system size for system sizing. As we go along, I will share a lot with you guys.
Okay.
So people let's say people that figure that like computer. Somebody that figure that like computer, this is easy for him. Once somebody do the needs analysis, you know the watts hour, you bring it to Mr. Man, he know how to get on the computer, go on the software, you know what to enter, and then you guys can size the system automatically. Excellent. So you seen that? So that's very helpful. Now, if you look right here, there is a little chart right here. You see that chart?
Yeah.
America on our bills, on the bill, it will tell you the average. They will tell you the watts hour per day on the utility bill. So to make it easy, when you look at if you are sizing a system that already has a grill, you just ask the customer for the utility bill. You look on the utility bill, it will tell you on the readings what the average daily watts hour. It will tell you right there. Once you get that information, you come and put it right in the system. You know now, you know your battery size, you know your inverters, your size. You even know your charge controller. If you look way down here, it will tell you your charge controller, sizing your solar charge controller. You will need a charge controller that can handle how much?
149 amps.
149 amps.
A question, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when we put our daily wattage, then when we can find how many the size of the inverter and all.
But this what no, you're not doing inverter sizing here. I told you when you're doing inverter sizing, you have to take all. That's when we just did the remember we do something called the power factor.
Power factor,
The AV, you can't just size inverter like that. Inverter, that's why you have to take into consideration that's what we're going to go through now. That's what I told you. Inverter sizing is different from sizing your PV model. PV model and charge controller and battery, those are easy boys. The inverter is one of the most difficult part of your system sizing because you have to take a lot of things into consideration. So let's go back to our training, okay? All right, I'm going to go back to my training right here. All right. And I want to answer that. Can you see that right there?
Yeah.
All right. Now, we're going to now talk about the load power factor. Power factor vary widely for different loads. Pay close attention. It will be paid. I think they made a mistake there. Pay close attention to power factor of large load. Well pump, motors, ampere load. You guys know what the ampere load now. Also,
Yeah.
of the CFL and D. What is the ampere? What is the ampere power of CFL and light bulbs? You remember we did it earlier?
It's 20 watts.
26 point what?
26.4.
26.4. So I'm not expecting you to memorize it, just to get recap, okay? Example motor consumption. Example, a motor consumes 7,000 watts. The ampere power is 1,200 VA. Between the watts and the VA. So this device here is going to be used to help you guys a lot as well. When we send all of those, I just bought a lot of tools. Let me show you some of the tools I bought for y'all. So this little bag here, the things in this bag cost almost $500.
Wow.
But why is it important? I told you guys, electricity, we are playing with people's lives, so I don't play with it. You know what this is?
No.
This is used to check the temperature of your PV model. You installing the PV model on the day to know the temperature of the model. You just put it to press, like you check your temperature. Coronavirus, you go to places to check your temperature, not so?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what this is. It's an infrared thermometer. All right, that's one. And we have the big boys here. This one here is for your side, your tools kit, professional tools kit for installer. This one you just put it on your belt, connect it to your belt. It has all your tools you need for your feeding your wire, your everything right here. I want to get 5 of this set, and this is one of the big boy right here. This is a 400 amps AC trim clips meter. So somebody told me, oh, these things are cheap in Liberia, but I don't buy cheap stuff because I don't want somebody to die. The worst thing I want to do, instead of helping people get light, I kill somebody. God forbid. You see this right here?
Yeah.
So how many of you know this device?
I've seen it with electrician.
You clip it on the wire, it will do the reading. It also has a place where you can connect this right here to it. And you can do a lot of reading. You can check the volt, the arm, and all of that. AC, everything. You do everything from this one device right here.
Yeah.
So that's why it is. So I'm trying to put them together, bag by bag. For I want to get 3 sets of these things for my technicians. If you guys are patient enough and we work together, we're gonna do great things, man. We're gonna do great things. Because when I train a good team, I'm going to be able to compete with people internationally. I wait for the day for me to get on the plane with 10 of my technicians, and maybe we're traveling to maybe East Africa, or maybe we're traveling to different countries for the job that we just got there, and we can show that we have international training. I'm waiting for that day. I look forward to that day. So I don't dream small. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Not so?
Yeah.
That's how you think. So that's why you see all of these things here. I want you guys to take it. You have enough time in Liberia. One of the things you have in Liberia that I don't have is time. So use your time. Use your time. Sit down, read, practice, do it. Use your time because it will work for you. It will work for you. It will work very well for you. My friend went to sit an entrance for a computer degree. He passed the entrance so high that they made him a teacher. But he never went to college for computer science. But he was so good that he became a professor. All right, guys. So that's why I'm showing you. Remember, we did this calculation. The power factor 700 watts divided by the VA will give you the power factor. The watts divided by the VA will give you the watt, the power factor. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah. The real.
Yeah. For example, a motor may be labeled 120 VAC, 10 amps, equaling 1,200 volt ampage. 120 volt times 10 amps equals 1,200 VA. The watts value could also be measured when operating the motor is measured to consume 700 watts. Assuming a power factor of 0.58, how do you know the power factor? The 700 watts divided by the 1,200 VA will give you a power factor of 0.58. You got it?
Yeah.
In the system, if the system is expected to power a large load with a poor power factor, for example, a load of compact fluorescent light bulbs, the VA and the power factor of the bulb would be important to quantify in order to correctly size the equipment. You got it?
Yeah.
So let's say load analysis, accounting for the low PF, now the power factor, you know what PF means. Load analysis data, AC load, refrigerator, radio, CFL bulb, welder pump. The load watt is 100 and watt, 140 watts. The radio here has 20 watts. The CFL bulb has 15 watts. The number of bulbs, 10 bulbs. The operating watts, 1,500 watts. This is what we just did, not so? So this is the average data watts right here. The AC average data energy is 3,540. This is the same thing for AC load. You got it? Calculating the PF, which is the power factor, add for load with a low power factor. There we go. The CFL light bulbs, the operating max is 15. What is the power factor? 0.25. You got it? You got it, the power factor?
Yeah.
The power factor is 0.25. Load VA is 600 minus 1,500, which is the original watts. The VA added to the VA added due to PF is 4,500. Let me explain that. All right. We went further to explain when we're discussing power factor that we have to find the VA. How do we find the VA? We multiply what? The amp by the volt. So we remember that we had an amp of 0.22. Why was it 0.22 or what was the amp? We had an amp of
We have a power of 0.22.
we had an amp of 0.22 multiplied by the volt of 120 volt, and we had a VA of what? 26 point what?
26.4.
26.4. Okay. So that is just how to do the same thing here. What they are saying here is this CFL bulb here, the operating watts is 150 watts. They already find the power factor. That's what it says. Sometimes when you look on the label of the device, it will tell you what the power factor is. But then you need to know what the VA is. Okay? So since we know the power factor is 0.25, we're going to divide 1,500 volt divided by 0.25. Somebody do that math for me. 150. 150 divided by 0.25.
They give you 600.
So your load VA ampere power is 600. Yeah. Now, when we have the amperage power, we're gonna subtract the real power, which is the 150 watts minus the 150 watts.
450.
So your VA added due to PF is what?
450.
450. So that's what they are saying is this light bulb here, which runs at 150 watts, when we add the power factor to this light bulb, we have a VA of 150. 450. You got it?
Yes.
Let's do another example. We have the well pump. What is the operating watts of the well pump?
1,600.
What is the power factor?
The power factor is 0.8.
So 1,600 divided by 0.8.
They give you 2,000.
So your load VA is what?
Your load VA is
Your load VA is 2,000. Okay. You remember earlier I told you the color on the triangle. We talked about the blue and the purple. The orange. Remember we told you about that?
Yeah.
That the real power will always be in blue, and the amperage power will always the amperage power will always be in orange.
Orange.
You remember?
Yeah.
All right, that's what they're showing. That's why they're showing the colors here. So we know now our load VA is 2,000. We're gonna subtract the operating watts for the 2,000. So subtract 1,600 from 2,000. What do we have?
400.
So the VA for that water pump will be what?
400.
400. You got it?
Yeah.
So now the power factor added VA, the total will be 5. We're going to add this 2. We add 450 plus 400. We have 850. Not so?
Yeah.
So we know that we have 850 here. That is our VA for these two devices. These two load that uses VA. So we take that VA. We have the AC operating watts, total AC operating watts. If you look up here, they have the total AC operating watt, which is 1,991. You got it?
Yeah.
1,910. You got the total operating watts?
Yes.
Total operating watts plus the power factor added, which is the VA, which is 850. The total design VA will be 2,760 VA. You got it?
Yeah.
All right. We explain it, we understand it, we'll go through the reading. We will show how to account for power factor. When completing a load analysis, on the top of the slide, we have a load analysis table with 4 loads. The operating watts for each load is shown. Okay, that's what it's saying here. We have 4 loads. We have refrigerator, radio, CFL bulb, water pump. Okay, that's the total load for this system. We have refrigerator, which is 140 watts, radio 20 watts, CFL light bulb 15 watts, water pump 1,600. So we have how many quantity? We have 1 refrigerator, we have 1 radio, CFL light bulbs, we have how much? 10, and water pump, we have 1. Also, we add all of our operating watts. Our total operating watts is 1,910. You got that?
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with the daily average. We're not working on the daily average watts now. We're trying to find how much watts we need for our inverter. This is for us to determine the inverter power, okay? That is why you see on the chart on the side here, they make it blurred. You can't even see it on the other side because we're not working with that now. All we need right here is operating watts, the total operating watts. You got it?
Yeah.
So this 4 load, the total operating watts is 1,940 and 10. That's our operating watts. In this 4 load, 2 loads there has power factor. And what are the 2 loads?
The CFL bulbs and water pump.
The CLL bulbs and the well pump has power factor. So what they are saying is we have to find the VA for those two devices. That is why we know the operating watts are 150 and 1,600. But the load PF, the load power factor on the light bulb told you that, oh, this CFL light bulb has a power factor of 0.2. And this water pump has a power factor of 0.8. It's written on the plate, on the nameplate. You'll see it on the box or you will see it on the device. That is what they are saying. So in order for us to do a good job, a good design, a good inverter, we have to find the VA. So what they are saying now, we know our operating watts is 150. We divide our operating watts by the power factor of 0.2, which will give us 600 VA. Not so? Then we subtract the real power, which is 150, from 600, we get 450 VA. So that is the VA for this CFL light bulbs. How many light bulbs do we have here? 10 light bulbs. So for 10 light bulbs, our VA is 450. Are we clear?
Yes.
I want somebody to explain what I just explained. Mr. Kotuma?
Yeah.
Can you deliberate? Can you explain what I just explained if you understood it?
No, I said I have some great error.
All right. Who else? Can you try, young man in the front?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. He said, in order to do your low analysis,
Mm-hmm.
we have those low EAC listed. You have the refrigerator, you have the radio, you have the CFL box, and the well pump.
Mm-hmm.
And then the low of each of them here were given to us. And then in order to calculate it, 2 of those loads here, we needed to calculate the VO. And
Okay.
those 2 are the CFL box and that of the well pump.
Mm-hmm.
And then in order to calculate those VA, we were given 150 of the CFL bulb, which is 10 atoms, and then in the CFL bulb, watt is 15. 15 multiplied by 10 will give us 150.
Mm-hmm.
And then the power factors for this is 0.25.
Mm-hmm.
Then we divide the 150 by the 0.25.
Mm-hmm.
Or 600.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then this 600 that we have now, we subtract our operating watt, which is 150 from it, to give us 450.
Mm-hmm.
And 50, which will give us our watt.
Excellent. Guys, start for that guy, man. Good job there. Good job. Good job. Mr. Kotuma, you got it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Now, we need to find our total design VA. In order to find our total design VA, we already know our total operating watts is 1,910. Not so?
Yeah.
And we also know that our power factor added, which is a VA, is 850. Is that right?
Yeah.
So we say 1,910, which is the operating watts, plus the power factor VA added, which is 850. Our total design watts is 2,760 VA. You got it?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Now they say right here, I'm gonna read this for you again. Here we will show how to account for power factor when completing a load analysis. On the top of the slide, we have a load analysis table with 4 loads. The operating watts for each load is shown, and the AC total operating watts equal 1,910 watts. 140 watts plus 20 watts plus 150 watts plus 1,600 watts. That's how we got our 1,910 watts. This is the amount of power required if every load were running simultaneously. What they are saying, if all the loads didn't have any power factor, that is the total amount of watts you needed. But unfortunately for us, we have 2 loads in our load analysis that has power factor. So we have to find the VA, okay? So we go for the next. In the middle table, we will calculate the impart. We will calculate the impact that power factor has for the load with a power factor of less than 1. In this example, there are only 2 loads that have a power factor. The compact fluorescent light bulbs, which power factor is 0.25, and the well pump, which power factor is 0.8. To account for each load power factor, we divide the operating watts of the load by the corresponding power factor values. Then we subtract the operating watts value since the load power requirement was already accounted for once in the load analysis data to get the volt ampere VA. The word VA stands for volt ampere. You got it?
Yeah.
So when they say VA, talking about the volt amperage. I know how people pronounce that word, but I just say amperage. Added due to power factor. 1,600 watts operating watts divided by 0.5, 0.8 power factor equals 2,000 VA. Minus 1,600 watts equals 400 VA added due to power factor. 400 VA is the amount of ampere, the amount of ampering power required by the well pump. Remember the power triangle where amperes power VA in real power watts plus reactive power VA arrow. Remember that triangle we talked about earlier? Remember?
Yeah.
Now, the VA added due to the power factor for the CFL bulb was calculated to be 450 VA. In total, the VA added due to power factor equals 450 VA, that's the light bulbs, plus 400 VA, that's the water pump. So our total VA is 850 VA. Now there is one final value that we must calculate, total design volt amperage. That is the volt we need to determine our inverter. Somebody was asking, how do we find the inverter? So that is the one we need that calculation to determine our inverter. This is formed by adding AC total operating watts and the power factor added to each other. So the AC total operating watts plus the power factor added equal total design VA. 1,910, which is the operating watts, plus 850 VA, which is the power factor for the two devices, two appliances, the water pump, the well pump, and the CFL light bulbs. Our total VA is 2,760. This VA value will be used when sizing the inverter or the generator. Hello?
Yeah.
So you got it now?
Yeah.
So the case end, I stop right there. I pause for a redress. That's where I stop. Now we know that if you are doing a load analysis and in your load there are load with power factor, you have to find the VA in order to the total VA in order to determine your inverter. So guys, at this junction, I'm going to send you guys an assignment you guys going to do for the next week on your own. And if you have any question, you guys wanted to ask any question, then ask the question. Let's work this out. Make sure that it's. I know the class have been long. Make sure that this is soaked in the brain. I want this to be soaked in the brain. Anybody had doubt, you guys share among yourselves. This is not. We're not in the grade school. Grade school, they got smart kid. This is not smart kid school. I want you guys to share together. If anybody has a doubt, ask your colleagues, and you guys can share together. If any doubts are there, you can share together. Make sure that you share together. I have an assignment for you guys. I'm going to let me see if I can find that assignment. And your assignment right here. And it's not assignment, it's an exercise. We don't do assignment, we do exercise. We do exercise to make sure that you understand what we're trying to teach. So this is it's not it. Okay. Trying to find that node analysis. Okay, let me find this for you guys. I'll be right with you. I want to make sure I can find this homework. Are we clear? Did everybody understand what we've been discussing today?
Yes. Last question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you make mention of the DC and the AC appliance. You said when you are using the DC appliance, there's no need to use the inverter.
Yeah, if you have DC appliances, you don't say you have the house, you have light bulbs, DC, refrigerator, DC. You don't need the purpose of inverter is to change the AC current, the DC current to AC. And the only reason why you need that inversion to be done or that conversion to be done is because you cannot directly use DC current into AC appliances. So you need an inverter to change it. So that's the reason why we use inverter. But don't conflict inverter for charge controller. Charge controller is for your battery. There are some inverter that has what they call that you can use for charging battery as well. It has called inverter charger. It also has the ability to charge battery as well. But you only need inverter if you have to invert the current to AC. So if you're building just a DC system, if I were living in Liberia right now, I'm not going to buy, if I just have a home and I just need to just get current in my house for the night and I got my little one battery, I would just get myself DC light bulbs. Somebody was telling me DC light bulbs is in Liberia. I would just get myself DC light bulbs. So once I have DC light bulbs, I will be able to use a lot of my appliances without those small solar panel I have. Because I don't need all of those other gadgets. You know what I mean?
I even using DC bulb using solar panels.
All right. So, all right. Let me see here. I'm going to share the screen. Did everybody see the screen? So this is going to be your exercise. Load analysis variables. Direction. Use the information below to complete the following question. 1. Objective. The purpose of this exercise is to conduct an analysis of variable seasonal load and backup load for sizing a multi-move gray tie inverter. So I can't give you this because we have not talked about seasonal load. What seasonal load means is that you have in the summer you're using air condition a lot. So air condition is a seasonal load. You don't need air condition in the rainy season. Do you need air condition in the rainy season? I say you want to be bad. I say you want to be boy now. But in the rainy season, you don't really need air condition. In the dry season, that's why you need air condition. So those loads are called seasonal load. But I'm going to send to you guys so you can familiarize yourself with it. Try and do what you can do, and then other one we'll go over it together in the next class. But in here we also have load power factor. Already here they gave you the power factor already. The load VA, which you guys should know how to calculate now. You know this. You should know how to find the load VA, the total power factor added VA. You should be able to do that. And surge load. Surge load is why we can't go over. We don't have time now. It's late. But surge load is there are some appliances like the refrigerator. It has surge load. A stove has surge load. Surge load is the load you need to just kick up the appliances. So you know when you plug a refrigerator for the first time, the motor had to start. It's like when you start a car engine, the car has a surge load. The car do boom. The motor had to start. So that's not the power that the car needs to run all through the time you're going to drive. But it needs to have that surge load considered for the battery to be able to handle that. You understanding me? So that's the same. I just gave you that's so we're gonna talk about surge load in the next class. We're gonna talk about surge load. But in your reading material, you will also read about that. And there are questions here and so forth. So this here, I'm going to send this now for your next training section here. Can I rename this thing? Yeah, if you can print it, would be good.
I want you. How many sheep there? Because how many? No, I'm passing. Next year, but no one coming back. Coming here, forever. I'll go in for it. I get what and it's our back to stick up. Now, you get that. Very good. All right. Mobile stick out the Wi-Fi already from here. I'll do it for some time.
All right, let me send this to you guys, and I will be closing this class. All right, let me send this to you guys. Did you guys learn today? Can anybody while I'm doing this, can you guys individually spend 2 minutes and tell me what you learned? Just a summary.
Yeah. As for me, for today, I learned a lot. I learned calculating power factors. I learned about how to calculate the VA, and I also learned a software that you use today to get the battery, the amount of battery you use to even know the type of charge controller you use. Yeah, today I also learned how to calculate your total AC and that of your total DC. Yeah. So I learned a lot today, and I say thank you for that.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Really, let me just send this to you. I had a great time with y'all. I really did have a great time. Who am I sending this to you, Fico? Everybody, give me your email address individually.
Who's
Who's the first person?
Yeah. My email address.
Yeah.
KOLLIE
KOLLIE
SUAH
DODNO
@gmail.com.
@gmail.com. Next person. D coming from.
G for dog.
So D for dog.
No, not D for dog. Let's stop it. D-S-Z-K-H.
Yeah, but you have to say, is it D for D like the first letter in dog? Or E?
D-S-Z-K-H.
E like elephant?
No, listen, I'm not all right.
The first letter, they have to give the. So, like, let me show you something. That's international. Let's say you're traveling, and somebody asks you, "What's your name?" So, my name is Benedict. I would say, B as in boy, E as in Edward, N in Nancy. So that way, the person will understand the letter you are talking about. That's how it is done. You got to learn them. That's how it's done. So, what's the first letter?
D.
As in dog?
Yes.
Okay.
A.
As in apple?
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
C. Zebra.
As in zebra, yeah.
K.
As in Kevin?
A.
Apple?
H.
Harris.
J.
Jack?
Lincoln. L-I-N.
L-I-N, yeah.
C-O-L-N.
C-O-L-N.
@gmail.com.
@gmail.com. Next person.
Yeah, K-R.
K as in Kevin.
M-O-O-N.
No, go around. Go. Say again. K-E-R.
Yes.
K-E-R.
M-O-O-N.
Like M like Mary or Annie Nancy?
Mary.
Okay, M in Mary,
O-O-N. Get it?
O-O-N as in Nancy?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, K-E-R-M-O-O-N.
Yeah, J-U.
J-U.
N-I.
N-I.
O-R.
O-R.
@gmail.com.
So that's Kemon Jr.
Sure.
Kemon Jr. @gmail.com.
Yes.
Next person. So, Mr. Katuma, your email address is Alpha Kilo Oscar Romeo T as in Tom, Universe, Mary, A as in Apple, H in Harris, 1964 @gmail.com.
Yeah.
All right. So I just did that for example so you guys can see, okay?
And one of the short power is not there.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah,
I have a question.
go ahead.
Yeah, and the something that says we are getting the work of inspector. How can we then determine the voltage of that inspector?
The footage on inverter,
Yeah.
the upper, it's the footage on inverter is always in on the inverter come with something called the data sheet. Every inverter come with that. You will look, I will talk about it later because you gotta look at the PV model. So if you're using a 12-volt PV model, you have to find an inverter that is a 12-volt inverter. If you're using a 24-volt PV model, your inverter volt have to be 24 volt. If you're using a 48-volt PV model, your inverter volt has to be 48 volt.
All right.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We look forward to having extra classes not able to do.
You look forward to extra classes?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I can have class on Friday and Saturday. I wouldn't mind.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we can work for me. For now, we can work for me. So I won't mind. We can Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I ain't mind. Because the thing is, pretty soon we're gonna have a lot to do. We're gonna have a lot of job, and if we get busy, we'll not have time to do a lot of training. You understanding me? So if we're done with all of this technical training here, so when you go to, it will just be you doing your. I don't understand why I can't find this thing. Oh. Oh. What I'm looking for is consistency. It's what I'm looking for. One of the problems in Liberia is hard for people to be consistent. LO2E. It's consistency. If you are consistent, you motivate me a lot. I'm looking for consistency. Once you are consistent, trust me, where I'm not limited to talk about what my dreams are in terms of what we'll be able to do. All this thing I'm just waiting to get back. When I go back to my full-time job, most of these things here will be okay. Oh, yeah, the thing here, man. We'll be okay.
Can we bring additional pole or extra pole? Some of them are electrician already.
Yeah, we can. There's no problem with that. We just have to just make sure that, like I said, Mr. Kotuma, we gotta make sure. Remember, we had an experience. I had these guys.
Please unmute yourself.
I'm muted.
Please unmute yourself.
Oh, 1 second. Let me see. Hold on. I know. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Who this one?
No, the player are still on. Hello?
Yeah.
I speak out that one.
All right, I sending all your material right now to all your. Let me see. I'm sending all this material right now. Everybody in this class, I'm gonna send you materials. Like this. The power factor load.
Ben was set up in class for a setup coming to system designing.
Who's that?
Eh?
Who's that?
He said you want to for the girl to system designing.
The guy, brother, the guy's not comfortable. The guy's not interested. The guy's in the class, you put him on phone. I know when somebody is interested, and you don't. Some people are not comfortable with learning certain things. So let her, yeah. You could want something for somebody, but didn't want it. She already has a job with us. She already doing something. Maybe when it comes to marketing or something, in the future, like we need somebody like, there are other areas. Everybody can do the same, yeah?
Yeah.
You got a side check?
No.
Just checking that because your interest too high. Are you sure that where I was speaking why I was this morning?
I let that to the work.
Yeah, the teacher wants a student. Are you Mr. Kotuma?
Yeah.
Before you came, we had a problem. Our speaker wire was not available. All right, guys, all set. I send your information. You got it now. I send the material to you.
Okay. I think I already get it, but no data.
We're checking it up because we don't have data now.
All right, when you do check it out, I send it to you. Send everybody. I send you.
Right.
Apparently somebody have an email that's not working. KOIESUAH
No. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on 1 second.
What is what?
Hold on 1 second, bro. Let me see here. All right, I'm gonna forward it back to you. Call the email again. Mm-hmm. Is that calling?
Yeah,
So, there's a slash in the middle?
No, there's no slash there. No slash there.
Everything together.
Everything together.
So it's KOI
K-O-L-L-I-E.
K-O-L-L-I-E.
S-U-A-H.
S-U-A-H.
G-O-D-N-O.
G-O-D-N-O.
At gmail.com.
G-O-D-N-O at G-M-A-I-L.com.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, something. Give me that something.
All right. Let me forward refish. I think it's sent now.
Okay, all right. I'll check it out.
All right, guys. So we will call out the class. Thank you, guys, for the class.
Okay,
And
thank you too.
so you guys, you want to have a class tomorrow, or y'all want to do it next week?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So same time tomorrow we'll have another class. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for the Mr. Kotuma.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. For let me just say this to you guys, man. You see this man right here? Let me say this to you guys.
Yeah.
Give a man the flower while he's alive.
Yeah. All right.
Mr. Kotuma is a humble person, and he believes in the youth. It's very difficult for people in Liberia to believe in youth. People find youth to be antagonizing.
Yes.
More people, in fact, more older people don't even want to affiliate with the youth because they are afraid. But Mr. Kotuma is very open-minded. And I am very, very excited. That man, I had my children, my twins. They were in the hospital. I didn't have money to free my baby from the hospital. $25. That's what I needed. The wife of my student, I went to their house. The little money they had, they gave it to me at that time. That was over 10 years ago. But I never forgot. That is the reason why here and we can, no worry, we can bustle, we can fight. Here and we fight a lot. But at the end of the day, I know his potential, and I know what I pray God that one day he can come to this country anytime he feel like. I wait for that time. I wait for that time. Because sometimes people will say, oh, that young man, but he know me. In Hadal, people know me from Hadal. All your big people know me. My good friend Rufus Tamo, they all know me back then. When I was over there, everybody wanted me to work for fast, so I said no. I slept on table in AGN school for 3 months. I had 1 brown trousers, 4 shirts. As a matter of fact, my first girlfriend in Habel was a girl who used to mock me. She used to laugh at me when she see me. She used to say, look at the guy with the brown trousers. At the end of the day, she became my first girlfriend in Habel. But what I said this to say to you is, everybody said to me, all the people who came out of computer school, by the time I actually get a job to go by the building. I was consistent because I was looking at the bigger picture. My condition was nothing to what my dream was. Even though I was lying down there on a 1-inch mattress, my dream was bigger than that. So nothing should deter your dream in life, because I'm a living testimony. Nothing should deter how far you can go. Somebody will say, if I just have money, if my parent was this person, if I was just this, that's a lie. I was consistent God first, and I kept my faith in God. And I always say to God, God never gave you an ability for no reason. He gave it to you for a purpose. When you have ability, God gave it to you for a purpose. And always know that that purpose is for you to do good. The Bible said, do not get weary in being good, For in due season, you will reap, you will harvest it. Even you harvest it, your children will eat some. And that is the thing. I really pray God that we grow, and we're going to grow. We are going to grow. If I was just someone who is hot, I got a friend in Moravia right now. He's a big boy. He's doing big projects. He want me to partner with him, but right now my mind is bigger. Because the Bible says little is much. God is in it. I want God to be in what we do. I want us to know that what we do, we are going to leave marks. I'm just the John the Baptist in this thing here. That's all I am. I'm just the John the Baptist. Some of y'all tomorrow will be the one to come and run with it. I'm just the John the Baptist. That's about it. In 10 years from now, maybe I'll be, if I'm living, maybe my wife will say, Mr. Man, I want you to go travel with me somewhere. I don't want you to carry your phone. I don't want you to talk about business in it. That time now somebody else got to run. But for now, that's how it is. When I was a little boy, my father, I didn't play much. You wake up me, I was 5 years old, you wake me and say, sit down. I used to be an accountant. Those days, accounting or do things with pens. They didn't have calculator. Everything was with pen. My old man would say, sit down. I sit down with him. I'm sleeping like this, and you pop me. 2 o'clock in the morning. That is why I live in developed country. I've never slept for 8 hours. For 12 years, I've lived in this country. I can't remember 8 hours going to bed and sleep for 8 hours. I can't calculate it. Because if I was somebody who was just ambiguous for material things, I would live here comfortably and not even think back home. But I really pray God that we do well as a team. If I don't have money, I got money. But boy, God gave me some hair. I got money. I got money. I got my sister. She's a surgeon. She always support everything I do. And she just said, if you believe in it, go for it. God gave you, there's a reason. The Bible says in the book of Galatians, to every man God gave a gift. When it says gift, it not just means that you go and sing or preach. It's talking about your ability to use your intellect to do things. Every man got gift. Some people are, you see, Mr. Kotuma, he's a straight man. He loves things to be done straightly. Sometimes I won't bend the wire, but I can see how that is just who he is. He's just a man that loves things done lawfully and orderly. Sometimes I won't go behind his, this is how it's supposed to be. We can't do that without having this done. We ravel. But tell me, sometimes I drop my pride and I look at the reality. I said, this is true. This is true. If you want to grow in life, don't be proud. That's the first thing I can tell you. Secondly, be a good team player. Be willing to work with people. Be willing to work with people. No man is an island. One of the reasons why Liberia is behind is because most of the people we have who were fortunate to go to school, they want to be the Lord of the Lords. They want you to pass by there and say, look at that great man. In developed country, one thing I learned about this country here, when a Western man learns something, he'll put it down in the book. So that book, somebody can come after him and pick up that book and read that book. And then the person say, okay, this is where the person stopped. I'm going to carry here. Then I read my own book. Somebody kind of pick up my book. They carry. That is why you see somebody invented iPhones. He leave it one small boy, pick it up, run with it. And today, from the big phone, you can have a small device. Because that's how the Western man works. When I came to the country, don't you hear me? I wasted most of my time here on pleasure. When you come to America, it's crazy. When you're young, you oh shit. It's like when you're crazy. You want to party, you want to have a good time. Oh, trust me, you'll see beautiful. Beautiful is in this country, bro. Beautiful is here. But when you come to your realization, I have come to my I bless God, I've come to the point to understand I got a purpose. There is a purpose for everything. And my purpose is to make sure that I train young men and women that can stand vibrantly and say, I came from the slum, but the slum didn't come from in me. So said Jesse Jackson. I was born in the slum, but the slum was not born in me. That is my purpose. You have to, that is my purpose in life. I was one time I was married and my wife we have everything. And she used to say to me, why are you never happy? I said, because I have a purpose. I can have a chicken to eat today and watch a TV and sit there and laugh. That is not what I was meant for. So I would go down in my studies and spend more time doing things that were not bringing money in the house. It broke the marriage. Because in this country, more people, they own it for today, whatever for today. But for me, I was thinking beyond. Then God brought this woman in my life. That's God first. Cleans me up. She cleaned the dirt for me, all the bad attitude, the drunkenness. I was a complete drunk, as a matter of fact. I drank alcohol at least 3 times in a day. Saw the good in me and cleaned the bad. And today, people can say, oh my God, we never knew. So everybody has a purpose in life. That is my word to you guys. Everybody has a purpose. When you find your purpose, don't let nothing deter you. I can stand in for anybody and tell you the only difference between you and me is opportunity. You have opportunity that I never had. That is the only difference. And once the opportunity is given, there's some of you, if you're in this country, there are great things you can do. And that great things, don't say, oh, I got to be in America first. No. No. I never wanted, I have my sister here, I have family here. I didn't call people every day to say, oh, no. When the time came for me to come to America, God made me come to, I was way in Nigeria in school. When my friend called me and said, my man, you win DV, come back to Liberia. I went DV. I went to go visit my friend Ahmed in that same place you guys at. Ahmed used to run a cafe right in there. I was in the club party, the club hall right there? That was my spot right there, bro. I was in that party and taking my first cool stuff in the middle of the day. And I said, we go say hi to my boy, man. And the man said, man, I can't play DV. I said, the DV thing you play all the time, I said, make a try. He played for me. I checked newspaper, I look at this, that the man was my friend, trust me, the DV been not easy. He didn't want to call me and say, my man, you win DV. God made me come to this country. So I don't play with my being here as a privilege. I am not privileged. I'm opportune. God gave me an opportunity because I make a vow. I used to walk the airport as a young man. Every time I was in immigration, I used to be 110 pounds. That's how skinny I was. Every time I walk in that airport, I used to pray God and say, God, give me ability to travel and let me learn. I'm not very smart. The thing about me is that I don't give up on something when I want it. If I want to learn this thing here, I will read it 200 times until I grab it. I got some smart friends I went to school with, brilliant. They can start a book like this. But the opportunity was not there. So that is my advice to you. That's my word to you as brethren. All right, guys? You have a great day. Tomorrow, same time. I think we're going to start making provision for lunch for you guys now because the class too long. So I will work on that. All right. I got a shirt printer for you. I got to take the shirt for my friend Prince. You have him over. My printer to give you the shirt. I have a shirt printer for our training. You see the logo behind here? Yeah. I have a shirt printer with that logo. It says Voma energy that changed lives. Yeah. I have shirts. I have shirts printed for y'all. It's in. This is my other little disinfection business we got. That is the Mr. Kotuma guy. You got one of these shirts, Mr. Kotuma? Yeah. This is my own way. I'm going to print some of this for the solar energy project for some of our big boys that are going to be supervisors. I'm going to print. That's that. So that's why when the team grow now, all of you guys going to be big dog now. Yeah, all of you guys going to be big dog. You're going to be supervisor. You can tell somebody, say, you know where we started from? All right, guys, have a good day. All right.